All right, we're recording. Welcome everybody to the Christmas movie Hero's Journey. So here's what we're looking at is, this map that has all these different movies and all these different titles, which might be kind of strange to you. Things like The Ordinary World or Call to Adventure, Refusal to Call. It's something called The Hero's Journey, and it's based on Joseph Campbell's work, who's an academic who basically studied all the stories from around the world and different times and cultures and said, guess what? We're telling pretty much the same story regardless, something he dubbed the monomyth. And it applies to all storytelling, but really well to movies. And in particular, we're going to look at that Christmas movies, 12 different clips from 12 different movies. And we start to see some different things. Number one, here's this idea. And, you can give me a yes or no and go ahead and shout it out. Do you think stories can heal us? How many think, yeah? I'm seeing some
Yes.
nod.
Yes.
A lot of people saying, yeah, good. Can stories hurt us? Yeah, they
Yes.
can, right? So stories kind of equal opportunity depending on what stories we're being told or what stories we're buying into, right? So what are some common tropes of Christmas movies? Anybody, what a trope is? The thing that keeps happening, things that we were currently pointing at. Give me one thing that happens in a Christmas movie. It's like, oh, they always do that, or they always have that character. What's a common, yeah, Amy?
There's always somebody who's a Grinch.
Yes. Whether it's a literal Grinch or a person who acts as a Grinch, yeah, that type of person is there. I see Nancy. Yes, Nancy.
Going home.
Yes, going home is a big part of Christmas movies. Super. Anybody else? Something that you see all the time. It's like that's a trope. That's a thing that happens in Christmas movies. Well, let's look at this list, and you can tell me, Judy. Yeah,
Somebody who was the underdog and looking for some kind of hope.
you bet. Hope, underdog, resilience, all of that plays in. How about nostalgia? That came up a lot last week. People kept pointing to, oh, this movie reminds me of, because the movies point to pieces of our history. Faith comes up a lot in Christmas movies. Regret, having made a mistake. Fear or loss, right? It's too late. I'm not going to ever see that again. How about a miracle? Saving Christmas or saving oneself in that space. Yeah. Returning home and family. We talked about that. And gifts. And the gifts aren't always just in the package, are they? No, there's lots of kinds of gifts. So the biggest one probably of all is love. And love wins. That's just what we always look for. And hopefully that's what's reaffirmed at Christmas time, at the holidays, that we come together to experience that. So let's dive right into our first clip today, which is it happens in the ordinary world. And this is all movies have this. This is where the adventure begins. It may be the place that the hero calls home. And there may be relative comfort in this space, right? That the hero may feel like he or she is in control of this space. And also, what we know as the audience is that's got to change, because otherwise there's no story. If the person shows up, they've got it all figured out. We're not hanging out for 90 minutes to watch them have it all figured out. So we're going to go with the Christmas Story right here. And Ralphie is our hero. How many know Ralphie and know A Christmas Story? You know this one? Okay. If you own TBS, you better, or if it's on your cable package, they play it 24 hours a day. Here's Ralphie opening up his story and what things were like in his time in this Christmas story. Let's look for what becomes his home in the ordinary world. Tell me what you notice, feel, or hear when we're done.
There it is, my house at good old Cleveland Street. How could I ever forget it? But there I am, with that dumb round face and that stupid stocking cap. Oh, but no matter. Christmas was on its way. Lovely, glorious, beautiful Christmas around which the entire kid year revolved. Downtown Holman was prepared for its yearly bacchanalia of peace on earth and goodwill to men. Higby's corner window was traditionally a high water mark of the pre-Christmas season. First-nighters, packed earmuff to earmuff, jostled in wonderment before a golden, tinkling display of mechanized, electronic joy. There it is. The holy grail of Christmas gifts, the Red Ryder 200-shot range model air rifle.
And I'm going to pause it right there because that really brings us out of the ordinary world into the call to adventure. So the ordinary world, we talked about some tropes. Did you pick up on any other Christmas tropes right there that are laid out pretty well in that movie? Some things that don't just show up in A Christmas Story. Yeah, Amy? Oh, go ahead and unmute yourself, dear. Sorry, I muted everybody just to make sure we could hear you, but unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Tradition, obviously nostalgia.
Tradition, nostalgia. Anybody else pick up on anything? Yeah, go ahead, Nancy.
A narrator.
Yes, a narrator to ground us is very common in these films. How about music? Christmas music? Yeah, pretty prominent. Karen, did you have something else in particular?
The attention to detail to keep it in the time period.
Yes. So in this case, and we do have movies, this was, came out in the 80s, but it's told about the 1950s. So yeah, attention to detail. Wonderful. So this is the ordinary world. Well, things are about to change, and we're going to go forward to our next stage to take a look at how they change with a different movie. This is Christmas Vacation, and their journey is not the same for a Red Ryder gun here. In fact, what Clark wants is he wants a really great Christmas, like a lot of dads do. And part of that means getting the perfect tree. And we're about to see what happens in that call to adventure here. And generally speaking, in the hero's journey, the call to adventure is when whatever we were doing changes a little bit. Okay. The hero may feel off balance, and maybe the stakes get involved. They get raised here. They can make everything start to skew a certain direction. What was comfortable is now uncomfortable. And all the vacation movies are slightly about uncomfortability. So let's see what happens with the Griswolds.
Dad, didn't they invent Christmas tree lots so people wouldn't have to drive all the way out to nowhere and waste a whole Saturday?
They invented them, Russ, because people forgot how to have a fun, old-fashioned family Christmas and are satisfied with scrawny, dead, overpriced trees that have no special meaning.
My toes are numb.
You see, kids, this is what our forefathers did.
I can't feel my leg.
They walked out into the woods, they picked out that special tree, and they cut it down with their bare hands.
Mom, I can't feel my hips.
Clark.
Yes, honey?
Audrey's frozen from the waist down.
That's all part of the experience, honey.
There it is.
Griswold family Christmas tree.
Isn't it a little big?
It's not big, it's just full.
Yeah, it's not big, it's just full. And we know where this is headed based on Griswold past history. So again, you see in the call to adventure, something big is about to happen. And we hear, tradition. The father who wants things to be perfect, or in some of our families, the mother who wants everything to be perfect. How many people grew up in a house like that, or maybe raised a family in a house like that, where you just wanted everything to be just perfect? This Christmas is the one where we get it right. Anyone ever said those words before? I know I'm not alone in that space. Okay. So what do you feel when you watch that scene? What starts to come up in you, the viewer, emotionally as you see the hero going through this part of the Christmas hero journey? I see. Yes, please. Sorry. Kathleen.
Well, for me personally, I'm just having flashbacks to my own childhood of how Christmas was so magical for me, and me sitting in my red sparkly dress waiting to go to Christmas Eve Mass. It was just nostalgia pretty much.
I love that nostalgia, and you use another word, magic, which I love too. The
Yeah.
Christmas magic that a lot of us refer to. Wonderful, good. Anybody else? The feeling you feel when you watch this scene in particular? Did anything come up for you emotionally, Karen?
The snow.
For anybody- how many
It's
of us-
not as much fun as it looks.
Yeah,
Trust
how many
me.
people have lived in snow, had a true white Christmas before? There's how it looks, and then there's the practical nature of how it feels, right? Yeah. Those people who don't live in it romanticize it a lot. All right, let's keep going now. Let's go to the next stage of the hero's journey, which is going to bring us to the refusal of the call. We've had the call to adventure, but we're going to refuse that call because now the hero often feels things are too much, too big, too scary. They want the ordinary world to stay the same. In fact, they may have insecurity, and the idea of doing something different might mean they could fail. And why risk failure, humiliation, even death, depending on the level of risk they're taking? And when the hero does indeed say no, he or she or they are punished, okay? Some stories, maybe the hero is refused by those around him or her. They think they're protecting them. But one way or another, the hero's got to get their rear end in gear. And we're going to see right here in the classic Scrooge from 1951 how our good man Ebenezer says no initially to Jacob.
I wear the chain I forged in life, I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girded it on of my own free will and of my own free will. I wore it.
You have my sympathy.
You do not know the weight and length of strong chain you bear yourself. It was full as heavy and as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago, and you have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain. Mark me! In life my spirit never roved beyond the limits of our money-changing home. Now I am doomed to wander without rest or peace. Incessant torture of remorse.
But it was only that you were a good man of business, Jacob.
Business! Mankind was my business. Their common welfare was my business. And it is at this time of the rolling year I suffer most. Hear me, my time is nearly gone. I come tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of my procuring Ebenezer.
Thank you, Jacob. You were always a good friend of mine.
You will be visited by 3 spirits.
What? Was that the chance of hope that you mentioned, Jacob?
It was.
Oh, well.
And we see what does Ebenezer do when he gets that chance of hope? What is he saying?
No.
Is it really a chance?
No thanks, right?
No, thank you. Too scary.
Yeah, too scary, as my boy used to say. No, Daddy, no, too scary to go on a roller coaster. Too scary to go on the adventure. The hero says, no, I can't. Even in the face of death, he's looking death in the face and he's saying no. Too scary, too uncomfortable. So when you take these 3 stages together, the ordinary world, the call to adventure, and the refusal of the call, does it make sense for a good beginning of a story? Do you guys see how you're like, yeah, I'm on board? I mean, these are 3 different movies, but does it make sense? We're hardwired neurologically to understand stories this way. And that's why this pattern keeps repeating itself. It's not exactly the same in every movie, but we can find them in everything we look at. Let's go forward to our next stage, and we'll take a look at our next movie as well. This is where we meet the mentor. Okay, so the hero has to get beyond whatever he or she is doing to get someone to kickstart him into the journey. And in Home Alone, that's going to be a very interesting neighbor, right? The neighbor next door who doesn't look like a mentor when he first meets him. The mentor can be kind and friendly and maybe warm, or might look frightening, even terrifying, and someone that the hero never wanted to be part of. The mentor might also be a thing, like a resource, a map, or an animal, or an entity. So whatever happens, the hero is going to get something, an emotional charge, and hopefully some confidence to get the hero going on the adventure. Here's Kevin with his butthead brother finding the mentor.
Check it out, Old Man Marley.
Who's he?
You ever heard of the South Bend Shovel Slayer?
No.
That's him. Back in '58, murdered his whole family and half the people on his block with the snow shovel. Been hiding out in this neighborhood ever since.
Well, if he's a shovel slayer, how come the cops don't arrest him?
Not enough evidence to convict. They never found the bodies. But everyone around here knows he did it. Now it'll just be a matter of time before he does it again.
What's he doing now?
He walks up and down the streets every night, salting the sidewalks.
Maybe he's just trying to be nice.
No way. See that garbage can full of salt? That's where he keeps his victims. The salt turns the bodies into mummies.
Wow.
Yeah! Look out!
Okay, so we've met the mentor, and how many, we talk about tropes, how many of us had maybe an older sibling or cousin who was a little rough on us, maybe around Christmas time, maybe told it, remember we talk about stories can hurt? That story right there can hurt, right? That's a mix of a ghost story with a Christmas story, and it can put you into a bad spot. So the mentor is out there, and the mentor is meant to get the hero into action. And as we'll see in this film later, maybe another time when we do this, his mentor comes through and saves Kevin. So let's move forward to the next stage of the journey, which will get us to where the hero actually decides to cross the threshold. This is the place where I'm leaving the ordinary world. And I know it's the controversial Christmas story. It is Die Hard. There's some people who say, no way. And there's those who say it has to be. Well, we're putting it into discussion, and you can tell me what you think. Well, here's what happens in crossing the threshold. Every step is led us here, okay? One thing affects the next. And our fellow travelers along the way, be they, heroes, friends, or maybe they're threshold guardians, or maybe they're even the mentor, they all have different experiences with what it means to be going on this journey. And the threshold guardian is there to say, are you really convinced you want to do this? And this is where the hero says, oh yeah, I'm going. And we're going to see that in this scene right now, as John tells Hans, oh yeah, I'm going on this journey to be the cowboy.
Mr. Mystery Guest. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Unless you want to open the front door for me.
No, I'm afraid not. But you have me at a loss. You know my name, but who are you? Just another American who saw too many movies as a child. Another orphan of a bankrupt culture who thinks he's John Wayne, Rambo, Marshall Dillon.
I was always kind of partial to Roy Rogers, actually. I really like those sequin shirts.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
So the adventure is on. He answers the call. Do you have a chance? And this is a Christmas party, believe it or not. And that's why they've set this into a Christmas space. All of these things are happening indeed at a time where he's trying to come home, where he's trying to reunite with family, and he happens upon a terrorist plot. Okay, so this is where Christmas movies can be. They can be historical, they can be family, they can be action oriented, and yet still the same parts of the Christmas hero's journey, the hero's journey, apply. We're going to look at one more scene, then we're going to talk about what we've seen, noticed, and felt so far. This is the test allies and enemies phase. And this is where the hero is going to either train, get knocked down, maybe flex a little bit, say, okay, I'm ready to take on this adventure. I've crossed the threshold, and this is where things get a little bit weird. Maybe things get, whoa, what am I getting myself into? The stakes must be high, because if the hero doesn't show that he or she really wants something, then the audience goes, why do I care? What is this story about anyway? All right. And the hero's got to get vulnerable. And this is where we take that moment to see what they're up against. How many have seen the movie Four Christmases, the one we're about to watch? Many of you? Not a lot. This is a kind of a sneaker film, I find. I recommend it as a comedy. What you're going to about see here is Brad, played by Vince Vaughn, is facing up his old brother, Jon Favreau, who you see enjoying a chicken wing right here. And they're having a family moment, which many of you may identify with, another Christmas and holiday trope, game night. Game night in the movie Four Christmases. Let's see how Brad's brother Denver plays this game.
Okay, who wants to go next?
We'll go.
Okay, great. Alrighty. I'll do the buzzer.
Are you gonna actually eat while you play that?
Just flip the tube.
Excuse me?
Flip the tube.
Okay. On your mark, get set, go.
Capital of China.
Hong Kong.
Yes. Thing next to your bed on the nightstand.
A sock.
Yes. I helped you come up with this when you were drunk and you came home from the bar last Thursday.
Alibi.
Yes. All right. The thing I'm not allowed to wear to Supercross.
Miniskirt.
Yes. Me and you dry humping on the beach.
A screensaver.
Yes, baby. This game is so easy. The only man that I'm allowed to cheat on you with.
John Grisham.
Yes. Mexican dude.
Ricardo Montalban.
Yes. Time. Baby.
Right here. Right here.
God.
Okay. This is like an animals attack video. Guys, there's other people at the table's uncomfortable.
Stop. Oh, God.
You guys got a lot. How many was that?
7.
Okay, so I'm going to call this out for just a moment as I see a laugh, and that's good. How many of you have had in part of your holidays a competitive game night? Anybody ever done that as part of your family get together? So what do you feel, those of you who have played this way, what do you feel when you see that game happening? Is that ring a bell? Does it sound familiar at all to you?
We play games, but not that competitive.
Okay, so you're slightly less than Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
Anybody else? What is a game night for you like in the holiday season? Does it get rough? Is it trash talky?
We play games in our household, but it's not trash talking. We play math games actually.
Okay. They're very civil and somewhat educational, it sounds like.
Yeah. So
nothing. That's great. That's wonderful. Linda?
We've had some games that were we've had to say no, we can't play those anymore, or that person can't play that game because they get way too serious and take it personal, and it gets into arguments. It's not fun.
Yeah. Linda, did you have something to add or of your own?
I just think competitive. We get competitive, so but fun, not too out of hand.
Right, Amy?
And I just want to add, actually, in our family, a tradition has been for a long time, but I don't think we haven't done it in a couple of years, is we always get a new game from Santa. So on Christmas Day, we all play that game.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I want to point something out in the chat right now. And Jossie, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, has left a couple notes. And Jossie says, competitive games, but lots of fun. The young adults love it and look forward to it. So wonderful. And some traditions or things that show up in movies. Jossie notes it always snows and there's lots of love. Wonderful. Those are things. Anybody who wants to leave a chat note, feel free, because sometimes we'll only have so much time, I should say, to speak on these movies as we go forward. So if there's something that you want to point out, go ahead and drop it in the chat note. How do you feel about the hero's journey so far? We've gone through 6 of the 12 stages. Can you see how these different movies interconnect on the level of being Christmas movies and being a hero's journey? Does it make sense? where we're going with this? Yeah, I see some nodding heads. Terry's like, I don't see how any of this goes together. That's fine, because confusion is part of crossing over into the special world. What comes next? Well, it's the approach. And in the approach, this is when we really clarify why the hero is doing whatever he or she is doing, because they may be confused themselves. They're like, I took this on, but I'm not sure why even. So let's take a look at this next phase. This is what we call the approach to the inmost cave. Now, in the approach to the inmost cave, the hero has trained for this moment. They've realized, I want something, right? And that's going to mean there's going to have to be a battle, because when you want something, there's the fear of not getting it, or the thing that's opposed to you getting it. That's the ordeal. That's next, okay? But in the approach to the inmost cave, that's where you're going to get tested for your training. And some of the hero's allies may peel away. Again, too scary, I'm not going there, okay? And where the hero is headed into the cave and the ordeal, it is her business, the hero's business, and she must handle it. The stakes again will rise. Now we're really getting into something that says, okay, I don't know. Is this life or death at this moment? Is this a big deal? Well, probably so. And there's also a reminder of the hero can't stick around forever. Whatever he or she is up against, they've got to do it soon, because time is ticking. We're going to look at The Nightmare Before Christmas, and we're going to see what Jack and crew are talking about as Jack makes his choice.
This time,
making Christmas.
Making Christmas. Making Christmas is so fine.
It's ours this time, and won't the children be surprised?
It's ours this time.
Making Christmas. Making Christmas. Making Christmas. Time to give them something fun they'll talk about for years to come.
Let's have a
cheer from everyone.
It's time to party. Making Christmas, making Christmas.
Snakes and mice get wrapped up so nice with spider legs and pretty bows. It's ours this time.
All together, that's and this with all our tricks. We're making Christmas time. Here comes Jack.
I don't believe what's happening to me. My hopes, my dreams, my fantasy.
Won't they be impressed? I am a genius. See how I transform this old rat into a most delightful hat.
My compliments from me to you on this your most intriguing hat. Consider though this substitute, a bat in place of this old rat. No, now that's all wrong. This thing will never make a present. It's been dead for much too long. Try something fresher, something pleasant. Try again, don't give up.
All together, that and this with all our tricks. We're making Christmas time.
it goes. They are about to enter the ordeal, which is, for in his case, Christmas. Can you believe Jack Skelton is going to be Santa Claus? Oh, this is a complete juxtaposition of the Santa story, of the Christmas story. And so again, we're telling the same story, but just through a different lens. All right. And by the way, a full-on musical. So another way to look at things. We're going to play this Against the Ordeal, and maybe a more familiar for many. It's a Wonderful Life. This is when Jimmy Stewart is facing his greatest fear. Okay. And the hero often does this in what's known as a crisis. In Greek, that means to separate, right? The separation of oneself, the breaking of one's heart in the moment, the darkest hour, right? Oh, there's Kevin. That was last week's scene because we saw that from Home Alone. But for Jimmy, aka George, he's going to see something different in this scene, okay? Because as we know in It's a Wonderful Life, he's tested the idea of whether his life was even worth living. And now he's really facing what would happen if perhaps he never lived at all through the lens of his brother's life. Let's take a look.
Are you sure this is Bailey Park?
No, I'm not sure of anything anymore. All I know is this should be Bailey Park. But where are the houses?
We weren't here to build them. Your brother, Harry Bailey, broke through the ice and was drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie. Harry Bailey went to war. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save Harry. You see, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
Clarence.
Yes, George?
Where's Mary?
Oh, well, I can't...
I don't know how you know these things, but tell me, where is she? If you know where she is, tell me where my wife is.
I'm not supposed to tell.
Please, Clarence, tell me where she is.
You're not going to like it, George.
Where is she?
She's an old maid. She never married.
Where is Mary? Where is she? Where is she?
She's just about to close up the library. Oh, there must be some easier way for me to get my wings.
So even in the depth, we see that the humor can play through. What do you feel when you see George, in this case, going through a deep ordeal and the fear of his life and the loves in his life being lost? What do you feel as you watch this? It is very much a Christmas movie. Yes, Amy.
Desperation.
Desperation. Absolutely. We want what George wants, right? Anybody else? What do you feel or notice? What's going on in this scene as George rails against the reality, Karen?
He's in a panic.
Yes.
Let's backpedal.
Is time running out for George?
Yes.
Yeah. If he's going to make it right, he's got to do something. Even if he doesn't know what it is, but he's got to do something. And it's something that happens all the time. We see the hero needs to be in action. I see Diana.
Yeah, it's just you see the situation and you just want it resolved.
Absolutely. Can't we just fix this? I just want my brother back. I want my wife back. Can't we just? And it's never quite that easy, is it? The hero has to prove that he or she is worth what he or she wants. And that's what the ordeal is about, that initial fight. Okay. What comes next? Well, it's the reward, because even if the ordeal went sideways like it did here, the hero gets something from that. And we're going to see what the hero gets from this. And in the movie Love Actually, we see that love is brought forward. And so the reward is going to be a good one here. It's a moment to celebrate, okay? And the hero may gain an item like a sword or a talisman. It may be a mindset like confidence, clarity, dance moves. It may be a placebo, right? That the hero suddenly realizes it was in me all along to do the thing I need to do. And within this celebration, there's often a reflection where the hero doesn't even recognize herself. She looks in the mirror and says, who have I become? Now, the hero has to acknowledge that there's been some trauma, something difficult happened, because if she doesn't, she's going to have to face the same thing over and over again. There will be more challenges to face. We're not nearly done, But right now is when we want to see the hero take a moment to take a breath and tell the audience it's been worth it so far. Here we go with the Prime Minister, aka Hugh Grant.
It's almost enough to make you feel patriotic. So here's one for our ass-kicking Prime Minister. I think he'll enjoy this. A golden oldie for a golden oldie.
Hold me. I'll give you all that you need. Wrap your love around me. You're so excited, I can feel you getting hotter. Oh, baby, I'll take you down. I'll take you down. Where no one's ever gone before. And if you want more, if you want more, jump for my love. Jump in and feel my touch. Jump if you want to take my kisses in the night. Jump for my love. I'll take you down. I'll take you down. Where no one's ever gone.
Yeah. Mary, I've been thinking. Can we move the Japanese ambassador to 4 o'clock tomorrow?
Certainly, sir.
Terrific. Thanks so much.
So the hero gets his reward and then gets his just desserts for celebrating too soon, perhaps, because that love is not settled yet. He's just inspired by the moment of love. Like I said, the journey's not over. Let's continue on, because what happens next is the hero has to return. Okay, this is when the road back happens. And in the road back, the hero is going to face some more challenges. In fact, whatever the hero came up against in the ordeal, it's probably coming back. And maybe even the gains that have been made, there's fear here that those gains may be, they just may go away. Maybe no one believes you that you've gone through this incredible journey so far. And then, you know, they're just like, oh yeah, right, who cares? Flight's a fancy, doesn't really matter. But the time is ticking, so the hero has to go. There's a new threat. There's something that is going to come and make the hero do something different, okay? This is when maybe the hero rallies the troops, and the hero may get unexpected help here too, okay? There may be an escape to freedom. We realize whatever's been putting us down, it's time to get up. And within this final crisis, this is where we get a new power. And this is where whatever we went up against, like I mentioned, the ordeal, it's going to rear its head one more time. A final battle or a chase scene, maybe a planning scene, all of those things can happen. Buddy Elf, well, he's got problems, but he's also got allies who are willing to help him. He's facing some hard truths, and he's got other people who believe in him. Let's see what happens.
I'm sorry I ruined your lives and crammed 11 cookies into the VCR. I don't belong here. I don't belong anywhere. I'll never forget you. Love, Buddy. Come on.
Hey, buddy. Buddy.
As you know, we need a big launch fast to get the company back on track. So I think I speak for my fellow board members when I say, this better be good.
Before I get into the story, let me start with the cover, okay? Now, just picture this.
Dad, I gotta talk to you.
Michael, what is it?
Buddy ran away.
What?
He left a note. I'm scared, Dad. He's gone.
Let me just finish this meeting and then we'll figure it out, okay?
Figure out what? Buddy cares about everybody. All you care about is yourself.
Hey, Michael. Wait. We're gonna have to reschedule this, Mr. Greenway.
We don't have time to reschedule. I want to hear the damn thing now. Son, you'll have to wait.
Don't tell Mikey what to do. Can't we do this another time, Mr. Greenway?
I flew in just to hear this pitch, and I intend to.
It's gonna have to wait.
If you want to keep your job, Hobbs, you will pitch me this book right now.
Up yours.
Yeah, up yours.
Hobbs! 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 You walk out of here and you're finished at Greenway! You're finished!
Okay. So we see the moment again with humor, and yet we also see the inspiration of what's going to turn into a chase scene, right? They're chasing to find Buddy and where he's at and restore the good in this scene, because Buddy's lost all hope. For a guy who gives everything, he's suddenly done. So we need help. And you know how we're going to find help? We're going to find help in the second to last stage, in the resurrection. In the resurrection, this is a moment when something has to go. Something has to die. Something literally, maybe a person or a character, or maybe it's something in between, a belief system, an emotion, an old story, okay? And this is where the hero either lets go of what the past was to move on to what's true and whole, or they hold on to the past and it ends in a tragedy. This is sacred space, okay? The hero is rebirthed into the ordinary world, okay? And the hero has to use everything he or she is brought in order to demonstrate mastery, that they belong in this space, that they can absolutely be the hero that they present themselves as. These can be quiet, contemplative, or they can be big, and they can be full of laughter and tears. The full arc of the story is on display. The hero recognizes what happens, and we, the audience, want to see that the hero has been changed by this moment. And indeed, the Grinch is about to change.
Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came.
Somehow or other, it came just the same.
Mr. Grinch!
And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
And he puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas,
he thought,
doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
Max! Help me! I'm feeling...
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
There it is. He's crying Grinch ugly tears. He's gone the full, yeah. He's been transformed. He's been resurrected. We saw him die. We saw him come back. We see him become something he never was before. And so with that, we get the final stage of and this is where we get to celebrate, because whatever has been learned is now being given to all. The journey wasn't for the hero. In fact, it was for those he or she may have tormented, may have forgotten, may have knew they needed something more. The hero is going to bring it back. And the journey was impossible, which makes this moment that much more delicious. There's no way that person could be this new person. Western storytelling says we go back to the beginning. Other cultures sometimes feature a more open ending. What happens next? There's no right or wrong, but in most of our films, yeah, they come full circle in a way that's very satisfying. We may repeat an earlier scene, or there may be dialogue from a character who we only heard a little bit before. If there is a final comeuppance for a villain, we like to see that. But here in Scrooged with Bill Murray, we get to see that he comes full circle and is now celebrating those he used to torment and just ridicule and even leave behind in love. And he learns to celebrate them, as he even celebrates with them with us, celebrates Christmas with us, the audience. Feel free to sing along. This is.
And they lived happily ever after. Come on. You don't know the words? Come on. Come on, let's hear it from this side of the theater. Come on, just over here. All right. All right, that's no good. Come on, let's try the other side of the theater. Come on. All right, how about just the men? Come on, just the men. All right, the real men. Let's hear the real men. All right, all right. All right, the women now this time. No, the real women, the real women. You know who you are. Are you? Who was making all the noise through the whole movie? My brother, the King of Christmas.
There he is, the King of Christmas. We've seen the full transformation, and that brings us to the close of the hero's journey. We see through 12 different films how all of these things come together. So I ask all of you, what do you notice, feel, anything about this journey? What comes together for you about these films, or maybe about yourself in this moment?
They all make you feel something, for sure.
Yeah. Can you identify any of those feelings for yourself? Any one feeling?
Joy.
Joy is a good one. Karen?
Joy and nostalgia, because I think I actually saw that movie for the first time in a theater down the road from me right now. So kind of cool. There's a memory there.
You go. So, you know, where we experience something often plays into exactly, you know, what it was about for us. Absolutely. Anybody else? Anything you're feeling? Judy. Yes, Judy.
Yeah, it's kind of the realization of something you didn't know from before. You were one way, and then you go through a transformation, then you see something else.
That's exactly right. You were one way, and now you become something or someone else in this moment. That's the transformation that's possible.
But you didn't know what it was going to come to.
No. And why didn't you know, you think? What keeps you from knowing that in the ordinary world?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't think many of us are, but it could be possibly, maybe, other people or situations, things we're attached to, stories maybe that we're believing. We might think less of ourselves. We might think maybe we don't deserve, what's coming our way. So this is a good place to heal that, Amy.
I think also, if I can try to put it into words, I was feeling the last couple of stages as it related to these clips tonight. I felt a sense of the hero might feel nervous because they've made a commitment to move forward, and everything that entails can be a little overwhelming and scary. Yeah, and you're trying to figure out, how do I place this in my ordinary life when I go back?
Yep. And how will this new thing fit either in the world or with other, what will, to quote Dorothy, what will people think? Right? So this is it's a big deal to go on a hero's journey. And does this reflect any pieces of your own life? Do you see yourself in heroic journeys and anything you've done in the past, or maybe something you're doing now? Can you see where a hero's journey? Yeah, I see some nodding heads. It hopefully is something that cuts across all culture into the human experience. And once again, it's why we watch stories, maybe to be invigorated, reminded, educated, enlightened. All of these things can happen for us. So that's the value of storytelling. Okay, who's ready to find out who gets the chocolate? I know why you came. I know why you're here. All right, let me get the wheel up here. Here's the big wheel of fortune and fun. Okay,
I'm taking myself out because
Amy wants off the list. Okay, now let's do a quick roll call. Make sure I've got Karen's here, Judy's here, Terry's here, Linda's here, Alexa's here, Jossie, Kathleen, Nancy, Pat, Diana. Did I miss anybody? I just want to make sure.
Thought you said Perry was here.
Perry.
You can take me out. This is Nancy.
Nancy wants out. I can't believe you don't want chocolate, but okay.
No, I wanted to go to someone else. I want them to have the pleasure.
It's a Christmas miracle right here in front of us. The gift of giving. All right. So all these names are on the list. I want to make sure everybody's good. We ready to spin this thing? Okay, here's what happens. Yes. Everyone has to say the 3 magic words when you spin the wheel. It's I don't know. And we repeat that until we get a winner. Here we go, everybody.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I don't know.
I
Terry's the winner of the delicious chocolate. Terry, if everyone goes over to your house, will you share a piece with everyone?
Maybe.
Don't forget to share.
Non-committal.
I'll share with Linda. She's around the corner from me.
There you go. Well, let me ask this of all of you. Did you have a good time tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is this something you wouldn't mind sharing with some friends or family and others? Because next week we're going to have different clips. I promise you, even some different shows I'm going to put in here. And we get chocolate from a different company, thanks to Amy once again coming through. It'll be a new company providing chocolate. So there's more here. And by the way, we all have kind of a hero's journey through the holiday season, right? Maybe our own hearts are going to grow this holiday season. Maybe this is a Christmas we decide we're going to do the perfect Christmas or holiday season, whatever we call it. Maybe we reunite with a family member. Maybe we redefine what love means. Is that possible? Could any of us have a Christmas miracle on our wish list for Santa or whatever?
Of course.
Yeah, I hope so. And that's my gift to all of you is hope. I hope all of you have hope. I know you have each other. You have this space to play with each other. And if you want to share these stories as we go forward, please do. Either email them to me or just put them in the chat or raise your hand as we're going through the Christmas Hero's journey and tell me a story of transformation. Tell me a story of magic. Let's share this hero's journey of the holiday season together because it means the world to me that you would spend time being here. Now, last bit of business is we have that $2,000 prize we're giving away in the final, it's not $2,000, $2,000 tuition prize, make that clear, for the Christmas, toward the cinema therapy class. What's cinema therapy? It's a class that we have where we study one film over the course of 16 weeks, and you get to rewrite your own personal hero's journey, your narrative. And we do that. It's really fun. And we spend about 90 minutes a week. For that 16 weeks, you write 1 page per week. And even if you're like, writing's tough, don't worry. We have a lot of ways to get you through that. We'll even help you use AI to help you generate ideas. You'll still put into it so it's writing about you. But if you need help, we're here to help. And what you get out of it is, well, maybe a transformation, maybe a new form of creativity, maybe a new skill, maybe a new belief system. So it's a beautiful class, and we're going to be offering some new courses in 2025, including Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox's film, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary next year, believe it or not. So we have that and Shawshank Redemption on tap, probably Inside Out 2, a lot of others. So a lot of fun to look forward to. So what you all got an entry for showing up tonight? If you bring people with you, you get an entry. So those of you who brought people with me tonight, I know Terry, you brought a few, Amy, you brought a few, make sure to let me know so that I can credit you for the people you brought, give you more entries. And if you want 5 entries, go ahead and purchase the book. It's my new book, all about the hero's journey and how I developed these programs in a PhD study to teach improvisation and storytelling to the Parkinson's community. It's what we do at our nonprofit, Yes and Exercise, and you're all welcome to find out more at yesandexercise.org, and even come play some improv with us if you like. It's not performance-based, it's totally play-based, so everybody's welcome. Any questions before we get out of here? And I wish you a Merry Thanksgiving, because that's what all right, everybody. Well, gratitude is what I want to offer, so let's do that with each other. Let's offer one bit of gratitude by saying, what's not wrong with your life? You tell me one thing that's not wrong with your life, and we leave that for everybody to know, something we're grateful for. What's not wrong with your life, Karen?
New friends right here.
Aww.
Amy, what's not wrong with your life?
The dog is quiet and not jumping on me.
Mine too. Yeah. Terry, what's not wrong with your life?
Oh my gosh. You guys.
Oh, Pat, what's not wrong with your life?
I'm here with the best guy in the world.
Oh, Linda, what's not wrong with your life?
My community of Parkinson's people for support. Yep.
Love it. Diana, what's not wrong with your life?
Family. I have a great family.
Love it. Judy, what's not wrong with your life?
I get to share this hour and a half with other people.
That's lovely. Kathleen, what's not wrong with your life?
I feel like I'm about to turn a corner in my own personal hero's journey.
I love it. Nancy, what's not wrong with your life?
Everything's not wrong with my life.
I love it. She's got no big kahuna.
Goddamn thing.
Hey, all right. Give it up for Nancy. Bang, bang. Hey, Perry, what's not wrong with your life? Oh, his microphone's not working. Darn it. Perry, I want to, if you got something, let me know. By the way, he says he cannot keep connection. Oh, shoot. I'll tell you what, the fact that Perry's here is what's not wrong with his life.
Yay!
Hey, Jossie or Alexa, I don't know if either of you are available. If you want to unmute and tell us what's not wrong with your life, you're welcome to. You certainly don't have to if you don't want to, if you're in a space where that's not available to you. And it looks like they're going to stay muted, which is okay. Well, I'll tell you what's not wrong with my life. It is this beautiful lit up evening around me. I love the lights. I love the dark. I love it all together. And that's what you guys are. You're a bunch of light and dark coming together. The chiaroscuro, we make up those things together. So thanks for being here, everybody. And hey, come on back next week and bring one friend with you, huh? Okay.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, thanks,
Thanks, Robert.
Have a nice weekend.
Thanks, Amy, for
Have a
getting
nice weekend.
started.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Nice
See
meeting
you Sunday.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.